Welcome to Emerge Wednesdays. I'm Dorothea Schuler, and I'm so glad you decided to join us. On this week's show, we'll be speaking with Mr. Chuck Worley, a serial entrepreneur and the owner of an array of businesses in Virginia, ranging from Yorktown to Chesapeake, and Ms. Tawan the owner of Powerful Expressions, LLC. And of course, a little later on in the show, we'll be making a divine decision with me, Dorothea, as well as we get to hear Deshana drop some jewels on us as she gives her 2 cents on finance. But first up, like we always do around this time, we're going to hear some amazing tips from Tiffany to help you emerge as a CEO. So come on, let's go and tiptoe over with Tiffany into the CEO's Corner.
Emerge yourself.
I'm Tiffany Boyle, and welcome to the CEO Corner. It is January, everybody. It's the new year, the start of 2023, and it is also Financial Wellness Month. How appropriate is this right after the holidays and Christmas, which I guess Christmas is a holiday. I know for me, I do no spend January to get my life back on track after spending so much on presents and traveling. This year, I am trying no spend January and February, so everybody pray with me, keep me encouraged that I can do this. As a CEO, this is the time to go through tax information, accounting practices, profit and loss statements to make sure you start your year off on the right foot. We have to make sure our organizations are financially well. You know me, I always provide tips to help you improve. So, tips to ensure your organization is financially well: have a clear business plan, monitor your financial position, ensure customers pay you on time, know your day-to-day costs, keep up-to-date accounting records, meet tax deadlines, become more efficient and control overheads, control stock. So CEOs, I wish you much success in 2023. And I'm Tiffany Boyle, and that's my tip from the CEO Corner.
Emerge yourself.
You are tuned into the Emerge Radio Show. Our first guest is Chuck Worley, owner of Worley Home Services.
All right. Well, Chuck was ready to go, so we're just going to let you jump right in and tell us about yourself.
All right. My name is Chuck Worley. My son and I own Worley's Home Services. We are a heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, crawl space encapsulation, insulation, spray foam, pretty much anything having to do with taking care of a house. Any home service that you need, we can pretty much handle it. Kind of a one-stop shop to take care of all your household needs. Pretty much tell people we can do anything but build it. But yes.
How long have you guys been in business?
So we started in 2016. I'm a local boy, got brought here by a Navy chief. My dad was a Seabee in the Navy, and we were brought here by the Navy and in 6th grade. So I went to St. Pius, Norfolk Catholic High School. I graduated in 1987 from there. Ended up having a short stint at Norfolk State. I went there for 2 years and then ended up transferring to the apprentice school at Newport News Shipyard, which the only reason I got in there, it's a great program. I could not get in that program now. The only reason I got back in the early or late 80s was because I was a state champ in wrestling, a state champ at track. So
nice.
they recruited me. So I got in there for sports accolades, not my brain. So I just, one of the things I've always figured out in life, I was not going to outsmart you, but I could outgrind anybody. So I just went to work and sports was where I excelled at, not school, but it got me a great program. It got me a great opportunity. I was taught the heating and air conditioning business, how to fix heating and air conditioning systems, and really gave me a great shot at life. I wasn't ready for college. I just wasn't ready. Well, there's immaturity. I mean, I was dyslexic in my youth, barely graduated from 6th grade, barely graduated from high school. Heck, I barely got there to the apprentice school, but I do have it on the wall. I got a degree from the apprentice school. So
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. That's right. What's the title of the guy that graduated last at Harvard in the doctorate program? His title is doctor. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
say this is the last guy in line. So, but yeah, it was a great program. I wish there was more people now. Everybody wants their kids to go to college and, do better than they did. And my parents sent me to private school. I mean, they're a blue collar, hardworking class. My mom was a nurse. My dad was a chief in the Navy, senior chief. He corrects me all the time. Senior chief in the Navy.
That's right. He earned it.
Absolutely. He earned it. I'm very proud of my dad. My parents were just grinders. They both worked. My mom worked second shift so she could be home with the kids during the day and get us off to school. And, we'd work all night while I had two hardworking parents, man. And they taught me a lot. One of the things I always say that my dad taught me was, he said, Chuck, you'll be successful working half days. You just got to pick which 12 you're going to work. 24 hours a day, you got to work half the day.
Yes.
I mean,
it's a lot of hours.
It's a grind. Yeah, it's a grind. I've been very fortunate to have parents that just busted their butts every day. And I just watched it. And I was like, okay, well, that's just what you're supposed to do is go to work. So when I came out of the apprentice school, I did open up my own company in 2001, ran that for about 13, 14 years. There's pros and cons to every story. I'd love to say I never lost at everything. I'd love to say that, but I was married for over 20 years and that did not work out. Went through a nasty divorce back in 2014 and took 4 or 5 years to get everything divorced. And I sold my company to a friend of mine that did not pay what he was supposed to pay. So it forced me into a financial spiral and ended up filing Chapter 7, which is not a reorganization. It is you screwed up, you don't owe anybody anything. And over the last 8-9 years or 7 years, I have gone back and paid back every single person that I bankrupted on. And I just felt like it's a character integrity and doing the right thing is the way my daddy raised me. And it was a tough situation, but I was in bankruptcy court, crying my eyes out, trying to figure out what in the heck I was going to do after, being 47 and everything being a wreck. And I just got a total peace. And God gave me a word of knowledge that we are going to pay these people back. Now, of course, I was thinking, what are you talking about? I don't have a pot to pee in right now. Like, how are we going to pay anybody back? Like, I can't even feed myself right now, So anyway, I really did. It was like water, like getting under a waterfall. Like, it was just this total peace. And I said, you know what? Yeah, God has a plan. Like, God has a plan. It's all going to work out. I wish he'd clue me in and you in and me in. Like, what this plan is before.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all.
Be great. Just let me know a little bit.
Just give me a hint. Give me a hint. But you know what? God's got a plan. It's all going to work out. And 2016, my son's a sophomore at CNU. I'm miserable. Going through this bankruptcy. I was just a wreck. And my son's like, Dad, you're miserable. Why don't you just open your own company again? Just start over. I'm like, sure. 47, 48 years old. I'm like, sure. Why don't I just start over? Like, I'm not 22. So he's 22, so it's a little bit harder, so he goes, look, I said, man, payroll, taxes, employees. Chase, I just don't got it. That's 48. I'm not going to do it. He said, look, go get me some business. We'll buy this company, go get some business, and I'll do everything else. So you'll deal with payroll, you'll deal with taxes. He's 22 years old, double major in accounting and business management. He's probably one of the hardest men you have ever met in your entire life. One thing I did teach him is go grind. I do brag about my son a lot because he's my best friend. I get emotional when I talk about him. But one thing that I taught him that my dad taught me is you just go to work. He actually went Division I in lacrosse. He was not the biggest. He was not the strongest. He was not the fastest. But I'm going to tell you, nobody on that field worked harder than my son. And it showed. You don't get a Division I lacrosse scholarship not working hard. So he went up to New Jersey. He grew up on a farm in Tab in Yorktown, Virginia. So Newark, New Jersey, from Tab Farm.
Wow.
It was a culture shock, so it didn't really work out. And he had about 6 surgeries in 4 years on knees and shins.
Oh, my God.
Broke his back. I mean, it's just, it was lacrosse is, football with a 6-foot pole, so it's a tough sport. But he ended up coming back to CNU and doing really well. Ended up graduating from CNU with a double major in accounting and business management. And at 22, I was like, Chase, you can't do all all this work, he was carrying 18 to 21 credits per semester, which is a little bit past full time, right? He's working 50 hours a week for me. He's playing lacrosse, what he can. His body's breaking down like a 50-year-old already at 22. But so anyway, he's like, I'll just quit school. I was like, look, me and your mom are co-parenting. We're friends. She's 100 pounds, but I still fear her. There's no way you could quit school. You cannot quit school. So so anyway, he doesn't quit school because, he don't want his dad to get killed by his mom. So we end up, he keeps working. And when he graduates, our company doubles in size. And so basically I just went out and got business and did the sales and marketing and all that. And then he ran operations and payroll. And I mean, I got a picture of him somewhere. I've been looking for it here lately because I've told this story a few times where I go into his dorm room and he's got literally 10 employees payroll on the floor. They're all drinking beer at his dorm, watching a football game on a Sunday, and he's trying to figure out payroll and paying invoices. And I'm like, when people tell me I can't work and go to school, I just laugh at them. I'm like, you got to want it. Like it's nothing worth having is going to be easy, And so anyway, fast forward, we've gone from 2016. We actually bought a little small company doing a couple $100,000 a year and had 3 employees in 2016. We literally tripled the size of that business in 12 months. So we did, somewhere 1.1 to 1.75 the next year. Chase is senior in at CNU while we're building this business, and it's been an amazing ride. It's been a really amazing ride. We have gone from that to about 75 employees. So in 6 years, we've gone from 3 employees to 75 employees in 6 years. And that's not the fastest growing company in the country, but we are not.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah,
I know a couple business owners that take that.
Yeah. It's been very humbling. Like I said, I believe part of our story is we are very much into building back into our communities. We have tithed. I tithe personally, but on our business, we tithe 10% of all net profits through our business from the beginning, from the first day we opened up our company. That was just something that was real important to me. It was something that I did in my other company. I just had this peace in my heart that was part of what we're going to be doing to improve the 757. Part of the story, what motivates some of these interviews was Lacey, who's been working for us. Y'all may have saw on the news about a week ago. Last year, her house, she started with us. 30 days later, her whole house, entire house, burnt to the ground.
Yes, I saw that.
To the ground. I mean, it was insane. And without hesitation, my son and I are very equally yoked when it comes to helping. And I had a number in mind. He said, what do you think, we can afford to do? Because he runs the numbers. And we both came up with the same number. We wrote her check, got gift cards. We kind of asked, what do you need? Like clothes, Walmart? Like we go went and bought some gift cards for her, and just because I ain't trying to buy her clothes. Like I don't know what she
Thank you. I'm sure she thanks you.
I ain't trying to ask a woman what size she's wearing. I am not doing that. My mama didn't raise no fool.
That's right.
I said, here's a gift card. Here's a bunch of them. So we kind of did that, and she was very grateful because you just don't realize what you don't have when you have nothing. Like it's like you need shoes to go to work. Like it was crazy the amount of stuff that she needed. But we were very blessed to be able to afford to be able to help her. And I really do invest a lot of money into my employees, and whether it's doing training or whatever. I feel like so here's a trivia question. You're a business lady, right? Business person. So you have 10 years ago, the answer to this question is different than the answer is today. Is it harder to get a new client or a new customer, or harder to get a new employee?
A new employee.
Now, but 10 years ago, ask that question.
Oh, 10 years ago.
It's a customer.
Yeah.
It's a client. Now, business has been so crazy, we're so daggone busy. So now we have to take care of our employee. Not that we didn't back then, but like we're more focused on it. We're hyper focused on it. I just have a thing that I call Chuck Filet. We don't work on Sundays anymore. My guys are not working on Sundays anymore because if we got to give these guys a break, man, they're busting their chops. Middle of the summertime, it's 109 degrees and you're 158 degrees in your attic. These guys are working there like crazy. we only run our guys 4 or 5 calls a day. Most heating and air guys, plumbing guys, they're running 8 to 10 calls a day. We run our guys 4 to 5. When they get to your house, they're rested. They're not frazzled. They're coming in. Yes, ma'am. What's your problem? Let me help you with this. I know that I got a couple hours that I can help this client take care of. And then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're not frazzled thinking, man, I got 5 more calls to get to. My wife is going to kill me when I get home at 9 o'clock tonight. So you got to take care of the employees now. And that's what we're hyper focused on, is taking care of employees. And Lacey's a great example of that. Without hesitation, me and my son were like, we want to help. Like, this is a catastrophe, what happened to you. And we're so happy to be able to help her. So with employees, we feel like if we're taking care of the employees, they will take care of my clients. My clients, once we go into the house, they're not calling anybody else. Once you have a great experience with one of my heating and air guys or my plumber or my electrician, why would you good luck with Google? Like, that was such a good experience. Why wouldn't I call you? Chuck does electrical or Chase does, why wouldn't we call it back, to do another service? So taking over the home, and we don't have to get as many new clients because we're keeping the ones we got. And how we're keeping them is by taking care of the employee, 401ks and matches and health insurance and doing this stuff. But the biggest thing, working around, Lacey's schedule. When she was trying to get her kids off to school, she's dealing with no house. She had to find a rental property. I mean, she wasn't coming in till 10, 11 o'clock some days, but she had to work, right? So we were very flexible with her through this transition. I mean, she'll never leave us. She loves us, right? She's like, hey, no one else is going to do that for me, So
exactly.
And if you know her, she's just a wonderful human being. And I want to do work with great people. I don't want to work with people I don't like. Like, I want to work with people that I like and they like me and they like working together. And because sometimes this job sucks. Like, it's 158 degrees in the attic. Like, it sucks. God. But you go to another company, it's the same thing. At least if you're working with people that you like, a team effort. Hey, one of the guys, he's up in that hot attic in the middle of the summer trying to move something and he needs help. Man, if you like that guy, you're going to go over and want to help him to get him home before 9 o'clock at night, because. And
I thank you for what you're doing, because I'm not going in my attic nor my crawl space.
Right, that's right.
I appreciate you and all of your employees.
I'm your guy. So, I do know great people, great business. Right. Great people, great business. Who wants to work with a bunch of nerds? I want to work with people that are nice, that I like, and I think we got a great crew of people. Very happy how business has really been doing extremely well. Obviously, the economy's helping, but it's going to start slowing down eventually here, I'm sure. We are in a business that, if your toilet's leaking, you don't really care what the economy's doing. So you will
always be needed.
Yeah, you're gonna want us in the house.
Yeah. If you are just tuning in, you're listening to Emerge. I'm Tiffany Boyle, along with co-host Deshana Kemp Garnett, and we are listening to the wonderful story of how Chuck emerged through a lot of trials and tribulations, and really him and his son Chase have grown Worley to, exponential greatness. And we are excited that you shared your story with us. And Deshana, do you have anything on that?
So I was thinking like, hey, Chuck is taking our job. We didn't have to ask you any questions. Your storytelling ability is probably one of the best people. Well, technically interview you because, you laid it all out there. But I said this to another guest we had on the show, and I'm going to say it again. I absolutely love your transparency, because so often when we talk to business owners and entrepreneurs, it's all rainbows and sunshine and the stars, and being an entrepreneur is so great. My social media, I make all this money. And no, it's not always like that, especially not at first. There are going to be some years, you're going to struggle, but you just got to stick with it. So I so love you for coming on and sharing that, to let people know it's not going to be all great all the time. But when it's great, it gets even better and better, as long as you treat people right and you keep in mind why you do the things you do. So I am so appreciative of your story.
Well, I really am thankful for you saying that. I was telling a friend of mine, he said, man, that sucks that you had to go through all that. And I said, man, I am not the person I am today if I didn't go through that. If I didn't go through the divorce, I would not appreciate appreciate the relationship I have now. If I didn't go through the problems in business and the nightmares and barely making payroll and being up at Thursday night trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to pay these people tomorrow. If I did not go through that, I would not appreciate now looking back, okay, payroll's a lot bigger now. We're a bigger company and I'm not stressed about it because we have the business to handle it. But if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't appreciate what I have now. And I feel like I do go back to when I was in that bankruptcy court, that when I got that flush of God has a plan, it's going to work out. You just got to keep grinding. You just got to keep grinding. That's my secret to success. Not to outsmart you, just to outgrind you. I figure if I just keep working, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Awesome. So Chuck, for those people who maybe just tuned in, tell us again the name of your business and let people know how they can get in touch with you, especially if they want to hear more about your story or they need some work done at their homes.
So Worley's Home Services, we do heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, crawl space encapsulations, insulation, spray foam, pretty much anything home service required at your house. So the way you reach us is 757-215-4075, or the easiest way is callworleys.com. Callworleys.com. You can apply online to get a job with us through our careers program. We have pictures of before and after stuff. We have a portfolio. Heck, we got 75 people. Somebody might work here that you might know. So I will tell you, one of our biggest, I was actually walking through my office with a friend of mine the other day. I was like, our best referrals are our customers refer us people, nephews, nieces, friends from church that referred, a girl that worked with them or was graduating from high school and didn't know what she wanted to do. So she came to work for us and now she's got a career. Same thing with some of our customers. Our employees refer other employees because they enjoy working for us. One funny story is a friend of mine referred me to somebody. She comes to work for us. She decides she wants to quit her job. Now the person working for me refers me to the person that referred her to our business. I'm like, hey, that's a win. That's a win. But if you take care of the employees, man, you're always going to have people wanting to work for you. And even in my missions and vision statement, it talks about we want to be sought after by customers, but we also want to be sought after by employees. We figure keep taking care of employees, they'll keep taking care of customers, and we'll have all the business we can handle.
Awesome. So before we let you go, we do have one question for you. And that is, what does the word emerge mean to you?
Emerge. I don't know if rebirth is the right word, but emerge kind of feels like coming out of the water, gasping for air, which is where I was a couple of years ago, was just gasping for air. So emerge from the depths of hell. It's coming out. A friend of mine described me one time. He said, Chuck, you're like a phoenix rising from the depths of hell. I will never bet against Chuck Worley. And it's going back to the grind. But no, that's what it means to me.
I like it. And I think you are the epitome of emerge. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you guys interviewing me. That was great. I enjoyed it.
Emerge yourself.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Emerge Magazine and Radio Show presents the 2023 Vision Board Workshop, Saturday, January 14th, 10 a.m. in Hampton. Vision boards provide a strong visualization of the future you want. Pictures provide symbols of what you want to manifest in your life, and visualization is a key tool for manifestation. Join us, visualize your goals, and create plans to achieve them at our 8th annual Vision Board Workshop and Breakfast, 10 a.m. at the Top Sale Restaurant at Hampton Marina. Tickets are available at Eventbrite or head to emergethemagazine.com for more details.
Emerge yourself.
Welcome back. I'm Dorothea Schuler, and you're listening to Emerge Wednesdays, the radio show that's all about entrepreneurs and business and is the premier information source for business owners. If you're just now joining us, Tiffany and Deshana just spoke with Chuck Worley, owner of Worley's Home Services, Get Smart Plumbing, Rose Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning, as well as the owner of It's Just a Drain, Rick's Heating and Air Conditioning, and the Crawl Space Company, which are all located from Yorktown to Chesapeake, Virginia. So, if you just happen to miss the wealth of knowledge that he just shared about his success as a serial entrepreneur and business owner, you absolutely and definitely want to take notes while you catch up on all you missed today, as well as listen to any of our previous shows just by visiting emergethemagazine.com. All right, friends, we're still ringing in the new year here at Emerge, and I really want to ensure that the first decisions that we make this year will definitely produce the results we're looking for. Our whole lives are based upon a series of decisions, a conclusion or resolution reached after consideration. And divine means excellence. So we're making an excellent choice. And today, guess what? Our divine decision is to be just that, excellent. The dictionary defines excellent as the quality of being outstanding or extremely good. I'm in total agreement. But when I hear the meaning, I do feel there's more. When I think of excellence, I always think of Christ. So I decided to look up the biblical definition as well. And it read, from a biblical perspective, being outstanding or extremely good seem most applicable when it is seen as the pursuit of or abounding in Christ-like virtue. For example, behavior showing high moral standards. Ah, nice. Now we have a practical understanding as well as a spiritual vantage point. So practically, we can take steps that are necessary to rid ourselves of complacency and mediocrity by personally evaluating our behaviors and how we apply ourselves. Truthfully asking, is what I'm doing reflecting excellence? A lot of times, we expect and require things from people that we haven't or aren't willing to do or perform ourselves. You know, we demand exceptional service when we go through the drive-thru, but what about when we're at work playing on our phones just to burn the clock? Or when we don't make up our beds before we leave our house and then leave with only 20 to 30 minutes to get to work, just enough time to clock in, and then we may incorporate what we would like to get done that day, not too much because, hey, we need time to pay attention to and play on our phones. And hey, I get it. So do you see where I'm coming from? Are we being excellent or mediocre? Now, let me ask you this. Are you expecting an excellent life to develop out of a mediocre effort? Well, that's exactly what we'll have if, again, we don't personally evaluate our decisions and make an effort to make them divine. Many years ago, I came across a YouTube video of a Navy SEAL talking about how it was required of them to make their bed each morning because it was statistically proven that when done so, more than likely, you will continue throughout the day to operate in a manner of excellence. Think about that just by making your bed. I want to end this by flipping it around to what I mentioned earlier, the spiritual vantage point. And yes, vantage point. In my life, Christ and only Him has been the vantage point. By reading His Word and learning His character, I'm planting seeds of excellence in my spirit that will produce an eternal gain. I'll leave you with this. Philippians 3:8 says, "Yet indeed I also count all things lost for the excellence of the knowledge of Christ Jesus my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things and count them as rubbish that I may gain Christ." So join me today and make the divine decision to be excellent, knowing this decision will ultimately help to shape and create a path that reflects a light of excellence in our lives. You're listening to Emerge Wednesdays, and this, my friends, has been another divine decision with Dorothea. And you too can be a part of Emerge Wednesdays by submitting your response to our signature question, what does the word emerge mean to you? Share that with us on our IG at Emerge the Magazine. This week's response is another special one. Like I said, we're still ringing in the new year over here at Emerge. And so it's from our very own finance guru, the Chief Operating Officer of Emerge the Magazine and co-host of the Emerge radio show, Deshana Kemp Garnett. Emerge means the journey to become the best you. Yes, I love it, Deshana. And us at Emerge have definitely been on a journey to become our best. And you can follow Deshana on IG at COO_Emerge the Magazine. That's COO_Emerge the Magazine. You're enjoying Emerge Wednesdays, and up next, Deshana and Tiffany will be speaking with Tawan Silver.
Emerge, emerge yourself.
You are tuned into the Emerge radio show.
All right. Hi, Tawan. We are so excited to have you on the show today. Happy New Year. How are you?
New Year. I'm fine here.
Good, good. We are starting off with a great New Year, I would say. Right, Deshana?
Absolutely. So what did we do? We did our Emerge Entrepreneur Prayer and Breakfast, the first time we've ever had the actual breakfast. So that was really amazing. Really, really good. I hope we do that every single year, make it bigger and better. And now we're also getting ready for our vision board workshop. So dang, we just started the year running, feet on the ground. Let's go.
Yeah, our beginning of the year is super busy. But Tawan, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
My name is Tawan Maynor. I am the Executive Director, the CEO of Powerful Expressions, LLC in Newport News, Virginia. I service adults with disabilities. I have a community engagement program. I also have a community coaching program. Our community engagement program consists of 1 DSP to 3 individuals where we go into the community daily. We do various activities. Our individual will pick which places they would like to go into the community monthly from their calendars. They fill out calendars and we go different places every day, every month. So they know where they enjoy going. So we pick various activities to go to daily. Our coaching program is a 1-to-1 individual plus the direct support professional. Go into the community and work on outcomes that they have. Both groups work on their individual outcomes, whether it be, speaking to community people or going places, learning to pay for their items that they wish to purchase, counting the money, things like that.
Now, Tawan, how did you get into that line of work? What pushed you to do that?
I left the school system after 20 years. I was a school counselor. I first was a special education teacher for 5 years. Then I moved to school counseling. I've always enjoyed working with individuals with disabilities and just being a helpful individual myself and knowing that we all need help us. So I love the environment that I worked in. So I said, you know what? And I knew a couple of other people who kind of opened their own business and I worked with them. They were my mentors, so they kind of mentored me into this. And I just stepped out on faith and opened my own.
That is absolutely great. That is what we are all about here at Emerge. The people that stepped out on faith, took a risk and, went out on their own. It's so crazy that, people actually go out and do that, I think. But, I see all those memes about entrepreneurs and business owners, how, we're a little crazy for going into business for ourselves.
I love it. I have not looked back one day.
Good. So what was the process to go from what you were doing before to, having your own business?
Well, working in the school system for so long, I was used to having summers off and kind of working a schedule where I could not be flexible as I wanted to with my daughter. Moving into entrepreneurship, it kind of gave me, now I can take my daughter to school. It gave me more time to do both things that I love to do, my family and working with individuals with disabilities.
Nice. So you took your skills that you already had, and then how did you Like, so working for somebody and then owning your own business is two different mindsets, right? What was that learning curve like to actually like run your own business?
Very scary. The whole process was very scary because I submitted my application to the Department of Behavioral Health when COVID had just first hit. So I was like, oh my God, will I ever get approved? And you know, God sends you a sign when your time is up. I knew my time was up in the school system. So it was that anticipation of me being an entrepreneur and doing what I love, but I always said it was in God's timing. So it took me 2.5 years to actually transition from the school to my actual own. And honestly, the paperwork, it's still the same for me. I feel like it's a lot of paperwork when I was at the school. It's a lot of paperwork having my own business. However, I'm in control of it.
Nice. So it wasn't like that much of a learning curve, I guess, just the risk of all the, this is what you work for is what you're going to get and live off of.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. I am a go-getter and I do everything by faith. And I believe God gives us times in our life that we transition from places. So that's when you know your time is up. It's time to move.
Right.
He gives you some type of, I don't know, it's a feeling. Like, I guess you have to be faith-based. But I believe time was up. I stepped out on faith and it has been working in my favor ever since.
Tawan, I think you touched on something that I know a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs are able to relate to. When you know your time is up at a job, right? When you feel that you are not walking in your purpose, it is nothing that job can do to keep you, to make you motivated to want to stay. Like that. I know people who their job, you know, they were such high performers. They have gotten thousands on thousands of dollars of bonuses. And they're like, no, they just walked away into an employee, right? A person who has an employee mindset. That sounds absolutely crazy. Like, why would you walk away from money? But I'm like, hey, if you're not in your purpose, if you're not in alignment, there's nothing you can do for that job if you are not fulfilled. So I completely get it. When your time is up, when it's time to go, it's time to go.
It's the fulfillment. You are absolutely right. That fulfillment, you're not getting that fulfillment anymore. It's time to go. And I think people get complacent with the money, like you said, and just being, this is what I'm used to doing, going there and kind of regurgitate the same thing over every day. And to me, I like to learn new things. I like to do new things. And to me, that would get boring. But I guess if someone's pushing hundreds and thousands of dollars to you, that's where people get complacent. But if you're not doing what you love, then you're not living.
Yes, if you are not doing what you love, you are not living. So when it comes to a job, I always have a mentor. He says that you do enough so you don't get fired and they pay you just enough so you won't quit.
Right. So the money factor will keep you.
But when
God says move, it's nothing that will keep you.
Yes. But on the flip side, when you have a business in the beginning, did you feel like, all right, I'm working. Where's the money? Like the money.
Absolutely. I was blessed to have my husband, so I did not pay myself. I've only been in business since I was approved last January to open the business. I opened in April to take my first individual. I didn't pay myself all last year. So all last year, it was definitely a financial struggle for me. But I had my husband, you know, I had my parents. I had a very good support system that was like, you know, if you need something, let us know. I'm here to support you. But I still felt that because I was so used to getting my check every month, paying my own bills, you know.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an adjustment. And yes, many days I was like, oh my God, I need my check.
But I will say, I completely love your transparency for you to kind of talk about that struggle of the beginning and how, you know, when you started, you weren't even paid for a year because let's be real, in the day and age of social media, you know, everybody makes being a business owner and an entrepreneur, most people, they make it look like this glamorous thing and the bling and this. And I'm like, we know you ain't got it all the time. Like, it's okay. It's
right.
Okay. You get it, but you just don't have it right now. So the fact that you were just completely open and honest, oh my God, tell us some more. Like, we need to hear more.
No, I mean, the struggle, it was really real in the first year because you're putting out money and you're not really making any yet. So you're putting out more than you're actually getting, and not only financially putting out, but you're putting out your time and your energy.
Yeah.
Because for myself, I was working 7 days a week, long hours to make sure my paperwork, my building, my binders, everything was sufficient for licensure. So you put in a lot of time, not just financially, but also time, your personal time, because when I was working at the schools, I was working from 7 to 2. 7 o'clock I get there, 2 o'clock I'm leaving. Now, 9 o'clock I get there, I probably leave around 5:30, 6 o'clock, every day at my business. But when I tell you it does not feel like you're working because you're doing something you love, I really genuinely mean that.
That's how I can tell by the passion in your voice.
Yeah, yes, we can. And if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Emerge. I'm Tiffany Boyle, along with Deshana Kemp Garnett, your co-host. And we are here talking with Tawan about how fulfilling it is to be your own boss. So, Tawan, let us know how we can get in contact with you, reach out to you.
Okay. My business is Powerful Expressions, and we're located 739 Thumble Shoals Boulevard in Newport News, Building 1000, Suite 1011F, and my number is 757-343-4479. If you have any questions, please reach out. If you're looking for some employment, please reach out. I am desperately looking for qualified individuals to work with and support, the individuals that I already have.
What are the job titles and the qualifications?
So the job titles will be a direct support professional working with either side, the community engagement side or the community coaching side. I am currently waiting for licensure to be approved for in-home supports, or if you have a family member or know any individuals that's interested in the program, I'm willing to speak with them. I have brochures, I have cards for DS, back to the direct support professional. 18 years or older, high school diploma, and I prefer that you do have some experience with working with individuals with disabilities, CPR certified, and I can, I do a lot of training of my staff and myself, also coming into the company.
I hope everybody got that information, because I don't want anybody calling me after this interview. What did Tawan say? What? I'm like, no, sir, no, ma'am.
Just give him my number. I will gladly speak with him myself.
All right, give him that number one more time.
Okay, it's 757-343-4479.
Awesome. She is hiring. Reach out. That's one of the plus sides of being an entrepreneur and business owner. We can give out opportunities to other people.
Yes, and yes, I love it. Just to be a blessing. Yes.
All right, now, is there any social media you have for your business that you want to share?
I'm currently working on my website, so I don't have any currently. So no, unfortunately, I don't have anything right now.
No worries. Once you get your website up and running, just make sure you tag Tiffany and I.
I definitely will.
Absolutely. All right, so it's come to that time. It's been such a pleasure talking with you, Tawan, but I get to ask you my favorite question, which is, what does the word emerge mean to you?
So emerge means to me it got a little fire behind it, like to go into the universe and to be great. To emerge, and I'm not supposed to use the word, but to be powerful, learn new things, do different stuff, grow. You know what? Just one word, grow. Emerge means to grow.
And there you have it. Emerge means to grow.
I like it. And I like how you said you're not supposed to use the word in the definition.
I know. It's like, I'm not supposed to use it, but yeah.
But a lot of people do that. And that's what I think inside my head. Like, you're not supposed to use the word. But emerge is such a great word. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you guys for having me. And if you need anything, please reach out to me and let me know how I can be helpful to you.
We will do, and vice versa. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Emerge yourself.
And what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
With the brain tumor, there was that possibility of blindness, especially with my daughter's wedding coming up. You want to be able to see those things.
The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute is treating prostate, brain, and other cancers with the most precise form of radiation treatment available.
It is the absolute best way to go.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer, call the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute today.
Emerge Magazine and Radio Show presents the 2023 Vision Board Workshop, Saturday, January 14th, 10 a.m. in Hampton. Vision boards provide a strong visualization of the future you want. Pictures provide symbols of what you want to manifest in your life, and visualization is a key tool for manifestation. Join us, visualize your goals, and create plans to achieve them at our 8th annual Vision Board Workshop and Breakfast, 10 a.m. at the Top Sail Restaurant at Hampton Marina. Tickets are available at Eventbrite or head to emergethemagazine.com for more details.
Emerge yourself.
I am Deshana Kemp Garnett, and it is time for my 2 cents. Hello and happy Wednesday. I'm here yet again to share my 2 cents with you all. And so today, what I want to discuss is, what is January known for? We all think about New Year's, making New Year's resolutions, but how many of us really knew that January is actually Financial Wellness Month? So I like figuring out, what are the different holidays or days we can observe for various months. And I'm pulling this information from nationaltoday.com. And on that website, it states that Financial Wellness Month is observed throughout January and was created to remind us to pay close attention to our financial well-being. I think having Financial Wellness Month in January is a great thing because we just came out of, a major holiday season, and we kind of need that time to kind of slow down, prepare our finances for the new year, and live as a whole. I think it's excellent. I could get into the history of, where it all came from, but I definitely don't want to bore you with that. But think about it. Financial wellness. When we are stressed about money, when we're constantly thinking about how much we have coming in as opposed to what we have going out, that can affect our mental health. It can affect our productivity. So this actual website, it gives you some tips you can apply to help boost your financial wellness and create a stable source of income, budgeting, setting up your emergency fund, saving, evaluating your credit, and setting aside money to clear your debts, which is all stuff, I'm going to continue to talk about during the year. So if I sound like a broken record, I'm sorry. I just want to keep putting this out there so we all get it. So what should we do to observe Financial Wellness Month? Number 1, create a financial plan. We need a plan. Kick off the year on a good note by creating a solid financial plan. I've been talking about this since December. We all should know exactly where we are, what we spent. We all have our goals laid out. Bam. We need to go ahead and create that plan. In accordance with that, we should have our budget. We should know what we should be spending. Make sure we're allotting things out for our business, for different events, what we need to be buying. So make sure we have our budget. This is probably something I don't think about, or not think about really, but talk about with you all. Review your credit reports. Your credit score is a majority of your available and feasible finances, and it depicts your credit worthiness on a personal level, on a business level. Knowing your credit score is so important, and understanding where you're at and how you can get a handle on it. So make sure you are reviewing your credit report. So these are just some of the things and some tips to observe Financial Wellness Month. I am Deshana Kemp Garnett, and that's my 2 cents.
Here's what's coming up in Hampton Roads.
Saturday, January 14th, 10 o'clock a.m., Emerge presents the Vision Board Workshop at Top Sail Restaurant, 700 Settlers Landing Road, Hampton, Virginia. To RSVP, visit emergethemagazine.com. Thursday, January 12th, 12 to 1 p.m., Lunch and Learn, How to Succeed Without Adding More to Your To-Do List. This will take place at the NQ Hub, 100 7th Street, Suite 104 in Portsmouth, Virginia. For additional information, visit eventbrite.com. Wednesday, January 11th from 4 to 5 p.m., the Small Business Grant Writing, Money, and Emotional Intelligence Workshop. This will take place at 6371 Center Drive in Norfolk, Virginia. For additional information, visit meetup.com. Thursday, January 12th, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., the Business Plan Boot Camp. This will take place at the Business Development Center at ODU, 112 Bank Street, Norfolk, Virginia. For additional information, visit eventbrite.com. A special thank you for the guests on today's show. To listen to past episodes, visit emergethemagazine.com.
Emerge yourself.
You've been listening to the Emerge Radio Show. All opinions expressed on this show are that of our guests and may or may not be shared by the Emerge Radio Show staff. Follow us on Facebook. Search Emerge Radio Show. On Instagram, Emerge the Magazine. And online, emergethemagazine.com.